Good morning, Mr. Jeff here in Hudson, Massachusetts at the American Kempo Leadership Academy. I'm following up with my daily live cast. Hopefully some of you that are at home right now will find these live videos useful and maybe pick up some information that can help you develop some good habits in your daily life. You can meet with me on Zoom no matter where you are in the country. Your first lesson is free, and we'll sit down over the web and we'll discuss your goals and see what you're looking for, and I'll see what I can do for you. In addition to that, the surrounding communities of our studio here in Hudson, as long as you don't train at any other school in the area, you can absolutely meet with me on Zoom or jump into some of our classes absolutely free for the next 3 weeks. And then we'll reassess after that to see how long this situation is going to be happening. Now let me touch upon that for a second. When I say surrounding schools, we want to be respectful to our neighbors. So we take it very seriously. If you train at a different school, we hope that you're dedicated to that studio. We would never want to interrupt what you're doing with your teachers. So that's why I'm saying that as long as you're not training at another school, you're absolutely welcome to send us an email, or you can check us out at karateforfree.com. You can see the link right here on the Facebook page. That's the word karate, the number 4, and then free.com. So check us out. Let me know if you'd like to meet on Zoom or jump into any of our classes. We still meet one-on-one first so we can assess your goals and kind of see what you're looking for. Now in these videos, we're building upon the first one, and each one is going to add something to what we did. So yesterday, we did some basic stretching and warming up, and that's the theme here. That's why we're doing it in the morning time. We focused mainly on the legs yesterday. We're still gonna do that, but I'm gonna bring more focus to the hands today. And in particular in martial arts, the hands are very important and maybe the most neglected area. There's very small details that I want my intermediate and advanced students to pay attention to, and beginners, maybe you can pay attention to. The placement of my hands, where my fingers go, and even though we're focusing more on the hands today, try to also focus on the feet. It's all these little movements that are going to develop the muscles, so that way your positioning gets a lot more comfortable. So let's start with this. We take a wide stance, and I just want you to focus on being relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. And then as you're focusing on the breath, every time you exhale, I want you to try to isolate a different part of your body and make it stiff, like you're flexing your muscles, while you keep the rest of the body relaxed. Now right now I'm doing the back muscles, which is allowing me to focus and relax my arms and my shoulders, rather than keeping them too tense. As I have them here, I'm also focusing my legs into the ground. Again, we call this the horse stance. It gives us stability. We're really grabbing the ground. Now today we are going to move through some stances, but focusing more on the upper body movement and the stretches that we might get, particularly working on our range of motion. So here, I start with just some basic movements like we did yesterday. I start rotating, but notice how my toes are flexing and I'm bending my knee. It's really important that you get a stretch in there. If you have any cramps at any time, back off for a second and just relax it. You might even need to shake it out. That's okay. This is a wake up and warm up. This is not like a full-on exercise where you're looking, to get a really intense workout. Now it can be if you want it to. Just if you keep watching every day, you might see how it's going to build into that. Whether you're beginner, advanced, doesn't matter. See what you can pick up from this. I'll try to do a little extra for those of you who have been doing this for a little while. Now, if you're my yoga students, absolutely, you know that what we're doing, we also do in the yoga class, because that's transparent with what I teach. The martial arts students, if you've never done yoga before, pay attention. I will be putting out some yoga videos as well. And my hybrid students that train in both, you absolutely know what to look for. Okay. Now, I'm in the horse stance, and I'm just going to transition off to the corners a little bit with my movement. And I'm just working some range of motion with my hands. And it's pretty much kind of free movement. Now, we know that the stance I'm working here is the forward bow. It allows me to reach off of my backhand. Now notice how I'm bringing my hand out in a very specific manner. As I'm bringing it out, it's relaxed until the moment of flexion. My leg is also straightening and I'm leaning slightly. It's kind of like when you stretch for a run or when you're pushing a car. Now from here, I'm going to turn sideways and get more of a stretch in the upper part of my leg. I could reach here if I wanted to, but I'm not going to try to practice anything ridiculously tense and powerful, because in particular in the martial arts, I wouldn't strike like this because I'm not balanced. So everything has a purpose. There's really no wrong way to do anything if you have a good reason. One of my yoga teachers taught me that. And it's a really important thing to know. Now, if you're advanced and you want to go beyond this, or if you're a beginner and you want to try, pay attention to my feet as I end up here. And I'm just going to let my hands go into some natural positions. Might be familiar with some of you. And I might change it every time, just to focus on range of motion again. Don't feel like you have to try to do everything I'm doing with my hands, especially if it overwhelms you a little bit when you're still trying to focus on the feet. Focus on the feet first, because you need a good stance and a good base in order to have the strength and the focus to develop the upper body. That's why we do stances first, in our martial art anyways. Now as I'm doing this, my legs are actually getting a pulsating workout. It's almost like weightlifting or resistance training. So if there are some weightlifters out there that are sad because they can't go to the gym, I encourage you to try this stuff. I do have resistance training videos as well on YouTube. You can check it out, AKLA Inc., right on YouTube. I'm broadcasting these live videos on YouTube as well. But there's other stuff on there, some old videos, a couple silly ones, but all very informative if you're serious about your health and your wellness. Now I'm getting a full body stretch, going back to like a squatting type thing here. Really working the inner legs and the back. All of these movements you can combine. So you can take what we did yesterday and do it as long as you want. It doesn't have to be as quick as I'm demonstrating it. I'm just giving you some things to try. This isn't really a guided video. You'll see the difference if you're new to this between what a guided video is and between what suggested practice is. If you're interested in trying out yoga and understanding that the concepts are very similar in my yoga classes to what you're seeing here, Wednesday nights on Zoom, you can actually join me at 7 p.m. It's called Yoga for Men, but women are also welcome. Now, touching upon the horse stance, we use that to develop the upper body. I told you that yesterday. I just want you to keep everything relaxed and mimic some of the movements I'm doing here. Those of you who know what I'm doing, see if you can write on your practice list exactly what we're doing specifically. Name each thing. So when I turn this way, what stance am I in? What strike am I using? Same thing if I go this way, even though I'm not in a stance, see if you can find anything. Or I might even fall into a transitional stance, such as the twist stance. Now, if I really want to get full range, I'm just going to reach behind me. This gives me that twist I need, but it also warms up the trunk a little bit. But going back to what I just said, focusing in the horse stance, see if you can just mimic some of the movements I'm doing. I'm keeping my hands as relaxed as possible for each move. I'm not focusing too much on making it super strong. First, I want to get the range down and the mechanics down. Then I can really focus on making it stronger. Notice how I start with the upper body, then the lower body comes into it. Now, if I want to add the legs into it, I can. Notice my feet. When I do my kick, my toes come back. I don't want to kick like I'm doing ballet. Unless I have a reason for that, particularly it wouldn't be a self-defense reason. It'd probably be an exercise reason, and that's okay. I told you before, you don't have to kick higher than the waist level. That doesn't mean you shouldn't practice kicking higher than the waist level. Now here, I'm focusing on balance, leg stretch. But I'm also focusing on keeping myself calm, even when it's a little scary. Now definitely don't try this if you're new to this without a chair or something near you, or a partner to catch you. On some days, your legs might feel pretty sore from a lot of the stuff we're doing. Don't worry, I'm going to give you plenty of recovery drills to do. Here's a couple. You can do this before or after, or both. I'm just getting a stretch. Now, if you're in my yoga class, we would take this a step further and work on our balance postures. I might even bring this leg, work on some balance this way, and then settle into a position, adding a couple nuances there for those who are paying attention. Again, don't worry about if any of this stuff seems too advanced for you. If it doesn't, great. Definitely do it, and let's meet on Zoom and talk more. So by now, all of my families have gotten an email with some instructions on how to schedule some of this stuff into your daily life. If you're having trouble keeping the kids focused on homework and on a set schedule just like they're at school, absolutely use this schedule. It will help. I do it with my own children, and it is an integrated part of our martial arts studio. In particular, students that are training to black belt and beyond that. They are expected to do the things that they would normally do in school while they're at home right now. Adults, if you're dealing with anything, again, reach out to me. We can meet on Zoom. First meeting is absolutely free. Depending on your situation, we can extend that out, maybe meet once a week. We do have various classes happening on Zoom between all of our belt levels. If you cannot go to a particular one and you'd rather do more one-on-one, let me know. I'm available. While we're all stuck in the house, let's try to make a productive time here while our government does what it needs to do to expedite this process and get everybody back to normal life. Well, until I see you next time, thanks for watching.